I am now in the waiting room of the surgery. I didn't film outside because everything was just going by really quick. But I've just had my tests done, like, the whole, um, the hot air balloon stuff. So I'm just now waiting for the surgeon to call on me so that I can get my operation done. I feel less nervous, more excited. So yeah, just looking forward to getting the surgery done. Hi everyone, it's Patricia here, and today I am filming with glasses on. There is a reason for that. So this video is going to be talking about my LASIK surgery, and I'm filming this introduction the night before I'm due to have the LASIK done. What I'm going to be talking about tonight is kind of like my journey, why I decided to get LASIK, the initial consultation session, and then tomorrow I'm going to be filming again just before the surgery happens, just kind of like get a flavor of like what I'm feeling and things like that. And then after, I'm going to do a post-surgery video and I'm going to edit them all together and just show you guys the LASIK journey. The reason why I decided to get LASIK is because I've had poor vision since 2009. I've worn glasses since then, and I am an avid reader. I use my phone a lot, as everybody does. I spend my whole day on the computer. My day job being it's office work, so I spend most of my time on the computer. I don't really like depending on glasses just because it always falls out my face, or sometimes it just feels uncomfortable. With contact lenses, they're a bit more contact lenses are hard to manage. It's expensive, it's not cheap. You have to buy the contact lenses solutions. You always have to go to your optician frequently. For me, there's just been a lot of hassle when it comes to my vision, getting contacts. I can't swim with contacts on, so I've been on trips where I've gone to the beach, but I haven't seen anything that's below the ocean because I don't have my glasses or my contacts on. And my vision has steadily gone poorer as the years went on, but it has reached a point where it's a bit more stable now. I decided now is the time. We're in a pandemic, I'm not spending my money on anything else, so I may as well invest in this. And it's not cheap, but I think it's a worthy investment because it's lasted for decades for some people. When I decided that I wanted to get LASIK, the first thing I did was to speak to my optician, and what I asked him was where should I go for LASIK, because the opticians that I go to don't offer LASIK services. And he recommended Optical Express. I think they're the leading providers of LASIK surgery in the UK. And he said that he's spoken to former clients before and they've gone there and they've said nothing but positive things and had nothing but positive results. Like, he gave me questions that I should ask them: aftercare, how long this will last, and if something goes wrong, what is the time period for my vision to be corrected without any cost to myself. He just gave me pointers about things that I could ask them, but he said it's the right decision, and if I am ready for it, because I just had my routine checkup with him and my vision has been stable at that grade for a while. So he said it's now's the right time. The second thing that I did was asked people that I know who might know people that have had LASIK done. One of them was like my boss, and actually she had LASIK done about 15 years ago and she said it's still going strong. I have a coworker as well who had a cousin who had LASIK done and he's now a pilot who's flying planes. It's just all good things that I've heard. And then the last thing I did was I went on YouTube just to kind of like do a bit of research about Optical Express, people who've had LASIK done with Optical Express that's not sponsored. And again, heard nothing but good things. By the way, this is not a sponsored video. This is just my own experience. So I finally decided to book a consultation with them. I had to book the consultation online because of COVID restrictions, and it's just easier. So I booked my slot, went in, and they were very helpful. There were social distancing guidelines. Everything was very safe, very clean. They had hand sanitizer everywhere. I went to reception and they said to kind of just like sit in the waiting area. Somebody approached me and then I had to fill in some questionnaires, and there were also questionnaires that I've had to fill in before the session, and I think this is just further questions stemming on from that I filled in before I went to Optical Express. So I answered the questionnaires, told somebody that I'm done. I had to sit, and then somebody kind of like came in and kind of just like discussed the whole process with me, what was gonna happen and things like that. And she also did, you know, when you get your vision tested and you have to like look at the red dots, look at the balloon, and you know, like, and the pressure, testing the pressure of your eyes and things like that. So she did those initial things. And then after, I was brought again to the waiting room, and I waited for the optician to be available because they needed to like test my vision. They asked me to bring my prescription for my contact lenses, and they also asked me to bring my prescription for my glasses, and I had my glasses with me. I was wearing them at the time. They don't ask you to wear contacts, you have to wear your glasses when you come in. And yes, so they just took my prescriptions, took my glasses. I was fetched again, and this time brought over to the optician, and she did the routine eye test, you know, reading from the board thing, ABCDs and all your letters and things like that. And she had my prescription, and then she kind of explained what was going to happen, that she was going to put in these eye drops that will sting a bit but not painful, and afterwards it'll give me a fuzzy vision. You can't drive to and from the appointment, so either take a taxi or have somebody drop you off and pick you back up. So I had my dad drop me off and pick me up, and after we had our conversations, she asked me whether I was ready to get the eye drops put in. So she put in the eye drops, and then we had to wait for them to take effect, so we had a bit more of a chat. And then once it was ready, we did the exam that gets your prescription. So you know that thing with the board, and then it's like left eye, right eye, which one's better, this one or that one, green or that whole shebang. After that, she kind of like told me that I'm an ideal candidate for LASIK surgery because my vision's not too bad and not too early just yet either. It's just like a good midpoint. And then afterwards, I was brought again back to reception, and I spoke to the person who did that initial vision testing, not the optometrist, but you know, the one who does the hot air balloon things. And she kind of just explained, gave me some documents. I have my own packet right here. It's got a hot air balloon. Yeah, so it's like it's an info packet with all the information about LASIK, and then she gave me 2 documents that I needed to fill in. So one's a terms and conditions document, and then one is a consent form. So it's just like reading through, initial dating, signature, and all that, but you don't sign it until you have to sign it in front of the surgeon. So yeah, I had that to take home, and then I had to pay my deposit for the surgery, and she said that finance plans will be discussed afterwards. After I paid my deposit, we scheduled the surgery, and then I was like, that's it, I was off. So as soon as I got home, I read the info packets thoroughly because I was very anxious, but I mean, it's routine surgery, so nothing bad's gonna happen, but it's just I just read everything, like, well, you have to, but yeah, I read everything just to make sure that everything's fine. And then I kind of like, as I was reading, I wrote down a list of questions, and then when the person called, I kind of like just asked them the questions. It's just like specific things that were like in the packet and stuff like that, but they answered it well, so I was comforted. And then after that, like a few weeks after that, I got a call from the finance people, just kind of like arranging the finance plan and stuff like that, and that was sorted out. So and then here I am the night before my surgery. So I am very excited but apprehensive. I feel like it's normal to feel nervous before surgery, but it's routine, so I'm not too nervous. I'm more excited, and I look forward to just be able to wake up and not, you know, reach for my glasses or have to like do the whole routine with the contact lens thing. I just want to be able to wake up and like have perfect vision and just be able to see. I want to be able to like run without glasses or without, you know, contact lenses drying up my eyes. I want to be able to swim and see the ocean beneath me. And I want to be able to drink and not worry about having to take off my contact lenses before passing out. So yes, we'll see where this journey goes, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. I am now in the waiting room of the surgery. I didn't film outside because everything was just going by really quick. But I've just had my tests done, like, you know, the whole, the hot air balloon stuff. So I'm just now waiting for the surgeon to call on me so that I can get my operation done. I feel less nervous, more excited. So yeah, just looking forward to getting the surgery done. Hi everyone. It's been a few days after the surgery, 4 days to be exact. And I just wanted to talk to you now about the actual surgery itself, what happened, and the aftercare. You've seen me earlier just in the waiting room. So after that, I was called in by a clinician to a separate meeting room. And what he did was he explained to me that there was going to be 3 drops and that I was meant to administer the 3 drops a week after the eye surgery. One of them for a month after the eye surgery. So the first one he explained was lubricating drops, which are kind of artificial tears just to kind of hydrate the eye. And I have to administer all of the drops. I have to administer 4 times a day for a week after the surgery. But these lubricating drops, I have to administer just whenever I feel uncomfortable. I think he said for the first couple of days I might have to do it on an hourly basis. And then again a month after the surgery. The second drops were antibacterial drops. So these are antibiotics and it's meant to be administered 4 times a day for the first week. And then the last one are anti-inflammatory drops, again 4 times a day for the week after the surgery. So he kind of just explained those. And then he explained that I would have to wear goggles for the first week after the surgery while I'm sleeping. So he said anytime I feel like I'm gonna nod off, just make sure that I wear the goggles. And I have. And he kind of just like explained all the other bits of the aftercare, like no makeup until a week after surgery, no contact lenses, showering and like washing my face is a no-no. So yeah, just like all those bits. And then he took me back to the waiting room. And then after that, it was one of the assistant surgeons, I guess, who called me and took me to the operating room. I was taken into the room where there were 2 big machines. One is to kind of cut the flap on the outer cover of my eye. And then the second machine was to actually do the whole lasering. Everybody was very gracious. Everybody was very kind. They were kind of trying to help me just because they can sense that I was nervous. I guess they were just trying to appease me, and they were explaining, you know, what was gonna, they were directing me towards where I needed to go. So they had me drop off my bag at a corner, and they told me to lie down on this I guess the operating table, although it wasn't a table, it was like a cushioned, it was kind of like a dentist chair but flatter and wider. Anyway, so they had me lie down and the lady started putting anesthetic drops in my eyes, and they moved me to the first machine. And then who, I guess it was the surgeon, I couldn't really see, but they put the so they have to hold your eye open, and I thought it was going to be metal clamps like a Clockwork Orange, but obviously it's not the case. It was actually more of a rubber. If you think about goggles and how it has that outer rim that's rubber, it's kind of like that, is the closest thing that I could put it. So they used that to prop my eye open, covered the other eye, and then they I guess they lasered the flap. It was quite quick. It was like a zap, and then that was it. And then they did it on the other eye. And then once that's done, they swiveled me over to the machine, which actually does the laser. And same thing, they propped the eye open with the rubber thing, I guess, or silicone, whatever it's made out of, covered the other eye, and then that's when they started lasering. This process took about less than a minute each eye, which I was surprised by. It was all very quick, and yeah, so the doctor kind of like, I guess they took the flap open. I think there must have been some sort of like antibacterial solution or something that they swiped over my eyes because it went blurry for a bit, and then the lasering started. So what happens is you're looking at a red dot, and around the red dot there's white lines that are a bit squiggly, and as they do the lasering, the squiggly lines start to become rounder and smoother. And I don't know if that's actually something that happens or if it's just me, but that's my experience of it. And once that first eye was done, I immediately closed my eyes after after the rubber was taken out. I closed my eyes. They covered it with gauze and did the same thing with the other eye, and that was it. That was done. So after the procedure, they asked me to sit up slowly and gently, and they asked me to. I could see. The weird thing was I could see, but it was cloudy, and I think it's because they do put some sort of antibacterial solution or antibacterial cream or something. And yes, after that I stood up. I could see. I could see, but it was just foggy, and it's because of that and whatever solution that they put on your eye. They were like, okay, you can get your glasses from your bag, sunglasses, and then I wore that, and they actually congratulated me, and they were like, you were quite calm during the whole procedure considering how nervous you were before it. So they were very, very nice. And yeah, so after that I went straight to the lobby, and then they said, you know, come back tomorrow for the 1-day post-surgery appointment. So that was like in the morning. So like I said, I could see. So I used my phone to call my dad. He picked me up, and I actually walked to the car park. I was wearing sunglasses. It was a bit weird because it's the middle of winter here in England. But I was wearing the sunglasses and walked to the car park by myself. I was leaning on my dad a bit because it was cloudy, so I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't, you know, I wasn't tripping everywhere, but I could walk by myself. So yes, got in the car. I was just kind of like, I was closing my eyes just because I had this image in my head of there's a flap in your eye, there's a flap in your eye. So I just had my eyes closed the whole time. And the anesthesia was slowly, not quite, but slowly starting to wear off. So I just had my eyes closed the whole time. I was still speaking to my dad. And then by the time I got home, maybe 30 minutes after the procedure, it was starting to get painful because the anesthesia was wearing off. So it wasn't painful, but it was just like stinging. And so I went up to my room. They do recommend that you sleep, so I wore the goggles, and then I slept for about 2 hours and then woke up, and that's when it was like the pain was there. It felt like I was staring at a pile of chopped onions, like it was that kind of stinging. So I ate dinner, and then I administered the drops because they said you're meant to start as soon as you can after surgery, really. But they said if you miss it because you are sleeping, it's okay. But I was like, okay, since I woke up, I'm gonna administer the drops. So I administered the drops. My eyes were quite sore and puffy, and they said it's fine if you have tears, but you can't wipe any higher than this. So yeah, I administered the drops, and then I said I'm gonna watch Scandal, and by that I mean like listen to it with my eyes closed. And then I must have slept, but thankfully I had my goggles on because I knew I might nod off. So I had my goggles on while watching Scandal, fell asleep, and then the second time I woke up it was a bit better. Like my eyes felt like they were less sore and less stingy. And again, I administered the drops, and I kind of just resigned myself to the fact that I think for that day I was just gonna sleep and recover and rest my eyes. So I listened to podcasts, nodded off again, and then the next thing I knew, I'm waking up because my alarm's ringing and it's time for the 1-day post-surgery appointment. The next day, I could see there was nothing, none of, I was still light sensitive, so I was wearing sunglasses, but I could see. And it was bizarre. It was the most bizarre feeling because I could see, but I couldn't open my eyes yet just because I was so light sensitive even with the sunglasses on. So I could open it for short amounts of time and then closing them again. So it was a strange sensation. Yeah, I went to the post-surgery appointment. They kind of had me do the thing where I had to read the letters and everything, and the doctor said it was fine and that they would see me next on my appointment 1 month after the surgery. So, but yeah, now I'm like, I can see, like, it's brilliant, it's amazing, it's kind of refreshing to be able to wake up and just see things without having to like reach for your glasses or wear contacts, and not having to worry about that. I was able to drive, I want to say 4 days after the surgery, to pick up my sister and drop her off at work. So it's quite bizarre. It's refreshing, and I'm so glad that I went through with it and that I did it. I highly recommend it. Again, this is not sponsored by Optical Express. I'm just saying it's such a worthy investment for everybody who's thinking of getting laser eye surgery or who has the means to. I can't recommend it enough, and it's totally a life changer. And there might be minor inconveniences at the beginning, you know, having to remember the eye drops, having to wear contact lenses, not being able to, you know, wash your face or like shower with your eyes open for a week. But honestly, the payoff is so worth it. I hope this video has helped, and as with everything, if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to say anything, ask any questions, just use the comment box below. And if you like this video and any other videos I have produced, please hit the subscribe button. I would truly appreciate it. And I hope that everybody's keeping well, keeping safe, keeping healthy, and I'll see you again for the next video. Bye!